but always the same face.
I just press record.
That's the face.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, it's recording.
It's recording? Oh, it's live.
Are you all ready to accept the experience of Loquacious Baby?
Cookie, can we get some bar naps? Every time David sings, my pussy gets really wet. So, you know, I guess I have to jump on the bandwagon. There's this show. Have you heard of it? My Strange Addiction. Yeah, I don't know.
Hi, Eileen.
So this show, My Strange Addiction,
Mia.
it has enough for every comic to share, and really, my favorite is this woman who is like very neurotic, and she can't handle the fecal matter that's left over in her anal canal after she shits. And obviously they can't show very much of the cleaning process, which can last for 4 hours. But my favorite is they're filming the ledge of the window, and she's like exhausted, and she like puts her hand up on the ledge and like lays the toothbrush down, and it's just, it's a beautiful moment. It's like when you climb Mount Everest and the camera's on the other side, and you just see this hand with the ice pick, and it's triumphant music. That's a clean asshole, I will tell you that. And she probably doesn't even use it. I mean, the way I do. So, good news, I found out that I'm not going to prison.
Yeah.
Which is bittersweet to me, because when I really need to get off, you know, when you just need to get to bed, prison rape is kind of a fantasy of mine. But, you know, sometimes I think a little too much about the fantasy, and I ruin it for myself. I know that, you know, the biggest, hottest black man will come up and you know, just give it to me in front of his friends as they take turns. But then I have to be his bitch. And I've tried it before, I just can't do monogamous relationships. I just can't. So if you guys seen my scooter outside, I love driving that around. When I'm in a car, I don't get road rage, but when I'm on that scooter, I get road rage. It seems like everybody is trying to, you know, seems like everybody's trying to rear end me, which would be great, but I don't really like sex in a car, you know, so, you know, that's not even the hardest part about riding a scooter. The truly hardest part about riding a scooter is telling your parents that you're gay. It's just a difficult conversation to have, you know? You know, I was thinking about some of my wild, crazy sex parties when I'm on meth, and you know what it's like. You're sitting around with all the guys, trying to get off for hours and hours, and it just sort of takes, like, your mind gets so twisted and perverse, and you're watching this porn, and you're like, I just need something more exciting. Maybe if there were 2 horses, and, you know, throw a midget in there, and then I'll get off. I don't know. It's like, I don't really think there's anything left. My taste in men is really strange. Do we have any straight guys here? Straight guys? Straight guys? Any straight guys? You're straight? Wow. Really? Are you sure? No, but I love those straight men who look like they want to beat your ass, because I like it real aggressive and dirty. Like you. I can tell you're into me, because you look like you want to punch me in the face right now. This guy right here. You still haven't called me. So, I was talking to my friend. I saw this article online about Trump, And he literally asked, why can't we just throw a nuke into a hurricane? And my friend says to me, oh, I hate this word. He says to me, that's retarded. And I said, hey, my mom's retarded. Quit being a faggot. It just reminds me, Trump is so old. Thank you. 76. Have a good night.
Good, thank you. I didn't think I was going to cut you.
Woo! The place is boom in the house, and here comes Liz.
Whoa. There's someone here to do that job.
It was what was be. Oh.
Okay. Look, I'm not saying I set that up on purpose.
Somebody
But I am
asked,
saying,
it's
have
just
you ever
for
seen
you?
that one episode
I'm
of
like,
Twilight
you
Zone?
can't talk.
But after this performer, we have Pinwright again.
Put it in the room.
I would like to find out. We're going to do that now. Oh, well, we'll work on that.
It has the thing on it.
12 seconds here, but Chase Flynn Smith is in the hole. You're welcome. So, I am now picking up the actual microphone or the cordless microphone. The actual microphone or the cordless microphone.
What would you like?
Backboard.
No, me?
Yeah, cordless or...
Wireless is louder.
Sorry.
Yeah, the wireless is better.
I prefer cordless for like the ones
Everybody here, Drago! I just realized that right now. I've been saying backboard all night, and I just realized it's netboard. Can I say...
Wait, no, it's...
Everybody's netboard!
You want me to do it?
I instantly regret that.
I got one. Oh, Jesus.
I can't be shown up like that. So, he's taking a shit this morning, and I had explosive diarrhea. You know, that kind of like sticks to the toilet. And Julian, I don't know if you know this. You say you want to help clean toilets or whatever, but we use that as target practice. It's sort of like how strong, you know, of a stream can you get? Okay. And you try and knock the shit off, but it never comes off. But we are trying diligently to clean that toilet. Speaking of toilets, I always take the approach, because I hate hearing women bitch about leaving the toilet seat up. So I put them both down. Because that way we both have to lift something. And that's because I'm a feminist. Speaking of, how many feminists does it take to change a light bulb? That's not funny. It's not funny at all. So, I was a prostitute in San Francisco. It's a lot prettier and younger. I mean, I don't mean prostitute. Like, I wasn't trashy. I didn't have sex for money. I had sex for drugs. You know, so it was way above board, you know? So, I don't even know if this is a joke. So I met my ex. We were together for 7 years. And we met at a sex party. And, back then I was like inexperienced, so I was really tight. And he goes, oh, not me, I'm really loose. So I thought that was really funny. We get back to my place and we do the one-on-one, and he puts his dick in. This is not real. And he goes, wow, you are tight. And then when I started bugging him, I was like, damn, that's a cavernous hole. And he looks at me and he's like, yeah, I love when a guy sticks his dick in and he starts complaining because he can't even feel it. That was the moment I knew I was in love. Oh my god. It took me 7 years to get rid of him. So, this one time, we're we're trying to, find sex. I mean drugs. And this guy invites us over. We're kind of desperate. So we walk into the door. Now, I don't know how many hookups you've been on online, but typically people are dressed or not just sitting there. So this one guy, the one guy that you really don't want to walk in, is going like this, super hirsute, hairy all over, big fat belly, and he's like Danny DeVito basically, when he came out of that couch. And I look over at my boyfriend, and I'm like, I can't even look at that guy until I get high. Oh my god, it was really terrible. But those were the fun days. Yeah, I think you guys have figured out I'm a weirdo. Back in school, guys would just scream faggot at me. They're constantly trying to flirt. I remember one time, I'm walking home and this guy, this is an Amber's by the way, blue. So this guy pops his head out of the bus. He's like, "You fucking faggot, you fucking blah." And I look at him and I was carrying a lunchbox because I was one of those people. And I'm like, "Oh my god, stop it! Stop it, you're embarrassing me!" And I think his head exploded. But that's what he gets. My mom tells me, the principal called. And I was like, "About what?" And she was like, "That day that you wore a dress to school." Because, I don't know why these guys were always screaming at me. So she said, "Miss Dudek, do you know what your son is wearing to school today?" And she said, "No, what?" And he said, "Your son is wearing a dress." And she goes, "Oh, cool." So I think, that is all hereditary, or what have you. Alright, so I'm going to try this one. You have to have a real deep knowledge of lesbians to get this joke, but what do lesbians and Velveeta have in common?
Wait, say that again? I missed it.
What do lesbians and government cheese have in common?
Ooh.
They both require a lot of processing. Now that's a joke about the way lesbians deal with their issues, and it's a really, really, narrow field. So thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. Good night.
Do I want this back? No.
I cleaned it off.
Oh, okay. We have two more. Get up, motherfucking fries. Brand recognition, motherfucking Brandon Burger. Go!
Hi, I'm Brandon. Yeah, that's big boy, right? That segues perfectly. This is my second time doing stand-up. And I watched the video, to see how I did. And all I could think of was, fuck, you're fat. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? I don't get it because for years I've been on a raw cock diet. But yins all look alright. This reminds me of my favorite GQ article. Go figure. I didn't know they had comedians write for GQ because Pittsburgh was worst dressed, and they said that all the guys looked like game day casual or meth lab formal.
That's accurate.
It said there's no city on earth that can equal the utter sloppiness of Pittsburghers. Sloppiness. Sloppiness. I love that word. It really makes me think of my butthole. Was that gross? I mean my mutt. My man cunt. I really think this needs to be in the Oxford Dictionary. Mutt. Yeah. Oh, let me get my tissue. All right. So, yeah. High tech here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, I have like a really fucked up like sexuality, you know. I really like straight guys who look like, you know, they want to beat the fuck out of you. Kind of like you. Like, you know, do you really get into rough sex? I think you do because you look like you want to punch me right now. But no, growing up in high school, I went to Votech. And there was this welder. Welders are like mean. Sexy, mean. But there's this guy, Adam, who did not understand that a 16-year-old in Beaver County going to school for cosmetology was groundbreaking, inspiring, maybe a good premise for those after-school specials. So he liked to display his heterosexuality around all the guys that were standing around, and he'd point at me, he'd be like, "You fucking faggot! You faggot!" And his face would turn red, and he'd be sweating. You know, I really think he was flirting with me because I'd look at him as he's pointing, his shirt would come up, and he had these beautiful abs with like this perfect treasure trail. And I just picture him pounding me and looking up and seeing his face beet red and sweating profusely. And I did think of another joke, but I forgot. Oh wait, prop comic. This should have gone on like during the sloppy. Yeah. So I'm really happy to be here. 6 months of sobriety. This is thank you. This is, you know, I've never really had to vomit so much in a bar and didn't have a single drink. So I want to thank you guys all for having me. This is really fun. I like all week was thinking about this. I wrote out like a really long script, and I knew somebody who does comedy. She's like, "You typed that shit out?" I was like, "I know," and I ripped it up. So
Never again. I screwed it.
thank you guys again.
Everybody.
I'll have a.
Look at all these
I would
people
like to-
on
I
here. How do
love-
you
I love typing up my jokes.
do you
And
want
it's,
to wave?
I don't know, I like to look at it very
Wave,
clean,
wave.
you know, in the right font, and you're like,
Wave,
yeah,
wave.
this is gonna be awesome. It's fucking
Thank you, Mia.
Hear the rock, the